What's up, Radiant Icons, and welcome back to Dare to Be Iconic, the podcast made for icons daring to be themselves. I'm your host, Amanda Policelli, and today's Tea Time Sesh is dedicated to the Dare to Be Iconic hotline. That's right, I am answering all of your questions live on today's podcast episode. And if I don't get to your question, Radiant Icons, no worries. I am saving your questions for specific episodes later on in the season because they fit with the topic that will be discussed. But for all the questions that didn't fit into a category or topic that is coming up later on in season 2, we're answering them here together live. And you guys sent in some really great questions. I mean, I'm not surprised. You guys always kill it. But these questions are fun. They're lighthearted. They challenge me. It's good. It's a nice little bunch here today. Excited to get into it with you guys. But before we do that, make sure to connect with me on socials. On Instagram and TikTok, it's at Amanda Policelli _ and at Dare to Be Iconic _ And if you're on LinkedIn, because you guys know I love me some LinkedIn, make sure to connect with me on there. It's Amanda Policelli. All of my socials will be linked in the show notes below. And also, Radiant Icons, don't forget to mark your calendars for Dare to Be Iconic's first ever merch drop on February 13th. It has been months in the making, literally my blood, sweat, tears. I am so excited to finally share the Radiant Love collection with you guys. I truly cannot wait to see you repping your Radiant Icon pride, and make sure to treat yourself with something iconic because you deserve it, Radiant Icons. And now, let's get to the tea, shall we? I mean, the best part. Let's get into it. Are you ready, Radiant Icons? Because your tea time sesh is starting now. I just want to say, before I get into the first question, the first question for this tea time sesh, you guys know me so well. The first question on this hotline is, Amanda, what are your top 3 celebrity crushes? I think I know one at least. Well, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, then you may not know this because I don't speak about my love for Andrew Garfield on the podcast, which is kind of like really surprising. Because if you scroll all the way down to like some of my first ever TikToks, it's like Andrew Garfield coded. Like, I love that man. So if you don't know my love for Andrew Garfield, I have a resurgence for it. I'm in my Andrew Garfield era again. So Andrew Garfield is definitely one of my celebrity crushes. He's tied with Lando Norris. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone listening to this podcast. And then my third one, oh, that is so hard, you guys. I would say probably Glenn Powell. I love me some Glenn Powell, I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah, I think it's Andrew Garfield and Lando Norris tied, and then Glenn Powell. My celebrity crushes are a little bit everywhere, but you know what? That's me. And yeah, Andrew Garfield, if you ever want to call me, that's okay with me as well. Okay, let's get to the next question. Have you ever had an embarrassing or unexpected crush moment? When I was in 4th grade, there was this, oh my God, I can't believe I'm like actually admitting this. I have not told anyone. This is so wild. Okay. So, like, when I was in 4th grade, there was this guy named Ben. He had red hair, and I was so into him, like, literally so into him. And I was not popular in middle school. I wasn't even popular in junior high. I wasn't popular in high school. I just wasn't popular. Okay, you guys, like, I was the theater girl who thought she was going to be famous. And I had the biggest crush on this guy, Ben, and he liked basketball. And so for his birthday, I made him a homemade card that was the shape of a basketball. I think I said something like, happy birthday from your like secret admirer. He decides to tell the teacher that he got this card, shows the card to Miss Riley. That was my teacher in 4th grade. I don't even know why he was complaining, to be honest, because if someone gave me a card for my birthday from my secret admirer, I would have loved it. So I don't know what was Ben's problem, but he told the teacher. And the teacher then makes an announcement in front of the entire class that we don't need to be like giving cards to people and saying secret admirers. Like, we don't need to be doing all this. Like, excuse me. What is that? I put so much time and effort in it. Why are you going to embarrass me like that? Again, no one knew it was me. I mean, actually, I really don't know if anyone knew it was me, but I never said anything about it. And also, Ben, if you are listening to this, why did you have to do me like that? You could have just like thrown the card out. Okay, you didn't have to tell the teacher. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why you did that, but like, whatever. We have a story to tell. I cannot believe I've said that on this podcast. That is so crazy. Oh my god. Good questions, radiant icons. This is the stuff that people want to know. Um, let's get to the next question. What's your most iconic fangirl moment? I have two. Okay. Recently, it would be the Spanish Grand Prix and meeting Logan Sargent. Absolutely, hands down. That was like one of the most iconic fangirl moments of my life. And then the second one would be seeing One Direction in Tampa for the Where We Are tour because again, huge directioner. I was a Liam girl, and yes, I am still mourning. Like, please, like, I cannot talk anymore about One Direction unless I want to sob. Like, I'm literally, there's a rumor right now that One Direction may be having a possible reunion to honor Liam to do a tribute at the Brits, and I literally will crash out. I will be so unwell. I've been unwell since I've heard this rumor. I am not doing okay, you guys. Like, I truly am still processing my grief and mourning Liam because he was such a big part of my life. So any One Direction memory for me will be an iconic fangirl moment because One Direction raised me. Liam Payne is the reason that I have the professional fangirl angle that I have today. Like, he truly was the person that started it for me. Liam was my whole entire world. And so for me, whenever I now look back on One Direction, I look back on all the joy they gave me, especially Liam, because I looked up to him so much. I even wrote a paper, not even just a paper, it was like this whole booklet. It was Liam Payne, the boy who lived. Some I forgot the like subtitle I wrote for it. It was for my 8th grade project. I wrote it about Liam Payne because he made such an impact on my life. Those five boys did, but Liam was everything to me. So when I think of iconic fangirl moments, I have to mention One Direction. Those are some of my iconic fangirl moments. Sorry to get sappy, but we got to be honest and real here. It's the Dare to Be Iconic podcast for a reason. All right, next question. How proud are you of how far your radiant icons have been able to grow because of your work? Whew. This question makes me emotional because when I think about you guys, when I think of my radiant icons, I always get emotional because it's kind of, ooh, these tears are coming. Um, Whenever I think of you guys and I see the messages that you send me on how Dare to Be Iconic has impacted your life, how it's transformed your life, so on and so forth, it like makes me so happy. And like these are happy tears right now. But it's also such a surreal feeling because this was just a dream that I had in my heart that I had the courage to go after it, not knowing if it was going to work, even though deep, deep down, I was like, this shit's gonna work, you know? Sometimes it's hard to keep pushing forward. Sometimes it's hard to keep fighting for a dream. And sometimes it does get discouraging as a young entrepreneur and also just as a young like 26-year-old girl trying to figure out who she is. It's hard putting your heart out there and sharing your voice and being so vulnerable online. And I know I chose to do this, especially with Dare to Be Iconic, because it is about my life. And to see the messages and to hear how it's helped you in your life, no matter what scenario it is, by me just being me and by me sharing my voice, it makes me so immensely proud. And I love you guys for changing my life and for being here and for supporting me. And Kat, I know you sent this question in, and I'm so proud of you. I wanted to give you a special shout out because you've sent me a lot of messages that truly make my heart so happy, and I'm proud of you. And I'm proud of all of you guys, and I love you guys so much. Now I'm going to stop crying and get to the next question. What's a goal you've set for yourself that scares you a little? There is one goal this year that does scare me. It scares me a lot, actually. It doesn't even scare me a little, and it's to deal with a specific traumatic instance in my life that I've been avoiding for 7 years. It's the specific traumatic event that I keep alluding to in a lot of my trauma episodes, and I made a firm boundary with myself that I will not talk about it because I'm not ready to divulge the details of that situation. But what I can say to answer this question truthfully and honestly is that I have made it a goal for myself this year in the year of Iconic to be bold and face this trauma head on and actually deal with it because I have been shying away from it. I have been avoiding it. And the more I push that shit under the rug, I know it's going to bite me in the ass. That's just to be completely frank with you guys. I know it will bite me in the ass if I don't deal with it. And it feels like now in 2025, in the year of Iconic, it feels like the right time for me to deal with this trauma head on. So yeah, that's a goal that I have this year that I know I need to do, but I need to do it in baby steps and I'm doing it slowly but surely and I'm proud of that, but it scares me, you guys. It scares me a lot. So, yeah, it's not easy. It's really, really hard, but that's me being honest with you guys. How do you deal with a breakup? I was recently broken up with and it's hitting me hard right now. Well, the first thing I want to say is that I'm sorry that you are dealing with this heartache and this pain right now. Like breakups are not fun and they hurt and they are hard. Okay? So please give yourself grace and be kind to yourself during this time. The second thing I want to say is that healing takes time, especially when your heart is aching. And sometimes it feels like you're on top of the world, and other times it feels like you can barely get out of bed and eat. And that is completely normal. And everything that you are feeling right now is valid. Whether you were the person that was broken up with, or you are the person that broke up with the person, it still hurts. And in this case, when it comes to dealing with a breakup, there is not one true way to deal with it, like in quotation marks. There is not one way to fix a breakup, to fix that heartache. However, the first step in moving forward in your healing journey from a breakup is to prioritize yourself and do what feels right for you. Do what you need to do. It is okay to be selfish in this time. It is okay to put yourself first. That's how you start healing from your heartache. That's how you deal with the breakup, or at least the first steps of dealing with a breakup. You have to do what feels right for you. Take this time to get to know yourself on a deeper level. Take the time to put yourself out there, maybe to distract your mind. And if you want to go and download the dating apps and talk to whoever it is for a bit to distract yourself from the pain in your heart, that's okay. Do it. There is no judgment. Do what feels right for you. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself. And also I want to add that I'll be talking more about dealing with heartbreak and healing from it and like dating, all that stuff later on in season 2. So definitely make sure to tune in for the later half of the season. But to answer this question right now, prioritize yourself and you got this. How different do you think your life would be if you never received the breakup letter? To be honest, I don't think my life would be any different. I think my ex and I still would have parted ways. I think we still would have broken up. I would hope if it wasn't through the letter, at least it would have been mutual. But, that's me hoping. We still would have broken up. Like, we would not be together. And I can confidently say that. On the other hand, I do think I still would have ran my own business. Like, I would have started something of my own, which is what I'm doing now. So I don't think it would have looked differently in that aspect. However, I don't know if it would have been Dare to Be Iconic, to be honest with you guys. I think maybe it would have been a production company or it would have been Dare to Be Iconic. I think it's one of those two pathways. And it really would have depended on if, my ex and I would have stayed together. We would have moved to Atlanta. I still would have been acting for a little bit longer. Maybe that would have changed my mind about how I felt of that acting job. And maybe I would have leaned more into producing, like just running a production company. Like, I don't know that, so to say. And like maybe that's where my life would have looked a little bit differently, but altogether, I can confidently say I definitely still would have started my own business and my ex and I definitely would not be together. But it's kind of weird to think about, like maybe Dare to Be Iconic wouldn't have been a thing, but I'm happy everything turned out the way that it did. Truly, I truly, truly do. I'm so happy for that letter now. Back then, absolutely not. But right now in this moment, I wear it as a badge of honor. because my life has changed for the better because of it. So, yeah. What's a self love habit that has changed your life? Just organically incorporating little moments of gratitude in my day and taking a moment to really breathe in the blessings and like recognizing them, even if they're like the smallest thing of, oh my gosh, I was able to listen to One Direction today, or I was able to read a chapter of my book, or the sky was blue. Even the smallest things like that and expressing my gratitude, like that is a self love habit that has changed my life completely. So, definitely, if you haven't already, start incorporating gratitude into your like daily, like ritual, routine, whatever you want to call it. Start incorporating moments of gratitude. Thank me later. Ooh, what's the quickest way someone can lose your trust? By being a two face. Like, to be blunt with you guys, I truly cannot trust someone who says one thing and does another. And here's an example. If you say to me that you cannot trust X, Y, and Z because of blah, 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 and that the next time you see them, that you're going to tell them blah, 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 like tell them what they did and why you don't like it. And you are so solid in that opinion, right? And then when that person comes back to your life, and yes, I'm drawing from personal experience here, but when that person comes back into their life, the person that they said that they feel X, Y, and Z about, and that blah, 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 then all of a sudden they change their tune, I can't trust you. I cannot trust you when you do that. If you say you're going to do something, if you say that you feel something, own up to it. Nothing drives me crazier in this world than someone being two faced, for someone not owning up to what they are saying. If you are saying this behind someone's back and then you change your tune when they're in front of you, I can't trust you. I cannot. That's my opinion. Oh, well. What's your best advice for someone struggling with confidence? Ooh, wait. Okay. I love this question because the next masterclass is focused all on confidence. It's called Daring to Be Confident. It's on April 19th. Tickets are now live. Also, if you're wondering, you can grab them now on the website, daretobeiconic.com, under empowerment events. But let's get to this question. Okay. And we'll go more into this in the masterclass. But I think my best advice when you are struggling with confidence is that it's not about doubting yourself, okay? It's about deciding to show up for yourself, even when you're scared. You need to decide to show up with bravery and courage, even when you're scared of doing it. You need to do it anyway. That is what confidence is all about. You need to build it up. You need to tell yourself that you can figure it out, even if you don't know all the steps. So, my advice, if you are struggling with confidence, is you need to build it up. When that doubt creeps in, when that imposter syndrome creeps in, you need to decide to show up for yourself anyway. You need to do it. Do it scared if you have to, but just do it. You need to acknowledge it. You need to push through it, and you just have to do it. Show up for yourself. That's the bravest thing that you can do. What would little baby Amanda think of her now? I think little baby Amanda would be in awe of the Amanda today. I think she would be so immensely proud of her. I think she would be almost starstruck and like just in awe of everything that she's been able to accomplish. And I just think she would be like smiling ear to ear, being like, wow, like you did everything you said you were going to do and more. Like, our dreams came true, and I'm so proud of you. And I think she would have been really happy that she never stopped believing in herself. I think she would be really happy that she kept going when people told her that all these big dreams that she had were really stupid. I just think she would be so happy and so proud and just like in awe that this is her life now and that everything that she said and she dreamed of came true or is coming true. And I think that's really, really cool. And I'm not gonna cry again because we've already cried during this episode. So let's get to the next question. What is some advice that you have for aspiring business owners? I think my advice would be, it's gonna sound a little cliche, but it's so true. Don't ever stop believing in yourself. Keep fighting for your dream, keep fighting for what you believe in. And when everyone tells you no, because there will be a lot of people who will tell you no, there will be a lot of people who don't understand your vision or your dream. You need to tell yourself yes. You need to keep going. You need to keep showing up for yourself, keep showing up for your dreams. You just have to keep doing it. You have to keep pushing forward. Even if no one else understands it, so what? They don't need to understand it. You just need to keep going because your dream is worth fighting for. And that is what my advice would be. What is your biggest, I can't believe this is my life moment so far? I definitely think it's the magazine cover behind me. I was the July cover girl for the Motorsports Girlies magazine. At that time, it was the F1 Girlies magazine. And that was definitely like, oh my God, like I can't believe like this is my life moment for me because little baby Amanda always dreamed of being on the cover of a magazine. Specifically, it was the 17 magazine cover. But this is like pretty cool, you guys. So that moment was like, oh my God, like I can't believe this is my life. Or even like the rooftop in Barcelona for Off to the Races, like that sunset sessions. That was also a moment where I was like, holy shit, like this is my life. And it was all because I kept believing in myself and I kept fighting for my dream. And when everyone told me no, I told myself yes. So for those aspiring business owners, your, oh my God, I can't believe this is my life moment will come when you stop caring what other people think and you just keep fighting for your dream and you just keep doing it. I promise you it will work out. All right, Radiant Icons, that is your tea time sesh for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, to leave a rating or review, to tell your friends about us, to tell anyone and everyone because we love more Radiant Icons in our iconic community of ours. Love doing Q&As with you guys. Like you guys give me the best questions ever. I mean, like I don't doubt you guys for a second. You guys got my back, but you guys challenge me. Okay, you challenge me with these questions. They're fun, they're exciting, they're interesting. Like you keep me on my toes and I'm loving it. So if you guys like Dare to Be Iconic Hotline specific episodes, make sure to let me know by sending me a DM, an email, maybe even dropping it in a comment. Like let me know and I'll incorporate it more into my season planning. There definitely is another dedicated Dare to Be Iconic hotline, Q&A, whatever you want to call it, for the later half of season 2. It's definitely regarding the Miami Grand Prix and Lando Bash, but you didn't hear that from me. Anywho, I will talk to you guys next week. Remember, Radiant Icons, dare to be iconic. Bye.